Hello, students and families. Here is the homework help video for the week of November 3rd through the 7th. Now, this is our cover sheet for the homework this week. And this week we are reviewing division strategies, and we will be taking a quiz on division with multi-digit divisors. Please encourage all scholars to show their work for everything. Please remember that for students to earn credit for homework completion, all pages must be completed with no blanks or missing pages. So this week, students have 3 assignments, all of them dealing with long division. And as I said earlier, we will have a quiz on this Friday. This packet is due Friday, November the 7th. So our first page this week. No, I didn't do all of that. Okay, sorry. All right, so our first page this week comes from Progress Learning, and there are 3 questions on long division. I thought I lost all that work that I had shown, but here it is, guys. So I wanted to start students out with the steps that they've learned in class. This is our anchor chart for division that all students have glued into their composition books. So this week, we are working with the standard algorithm, but we have also done partial quotient. That's kind of what we looked at last week. We have yet to do the strip diagram, and we have not done much of area model or distributive property. But as I have told students, whatever strategy is the one you're most comfortable with, go ahead and use that. For the purposes of homework this week, I am working with standard algorithm. I realize a lot of students have said that their parents have worked with them, and I know that you guys are like me and you learned standard algorithm when you were in school as well. So it's probably easier to work with that one for homework this week. So, question number 1, I have done and worked out the steps. I want students to pay careful attention with the fact that I can see that 12 is our divisor and 1044 is our dividend. So with that being said, I need to list all of the factors of 12. And that's what I did along the side. Please, students, you know you have been encouraged to list all your factors. That's going to help you with finding out how many 12s you can fit into each part of the number. So for the standard algorithm, we are going to work with 104. We can't work with 1 because it's too small. We can't work with 10 because, again, it's too small. But 104, we can fit a certain amount of 12s inside of 104. And looking at our list of multiples of 12, we can see that 12 times 8 is 96. 96 gets us closest to 104 without going over. We can't choose 12 times 9 because 12 times 9 equals 108. So we put our 90, first we put our 8 up top because we are multiplying 8 times 12 to get 96. Then we put our 96 underneath 104 and we subtract. Students should already know the words to our long division wrap. It says divide, which is what we just did. We multiplied 8 times 12, put our 96 under, and subtract. And according to the song, it says the next step is to bring it on down and bring it on back. So before we bring it on down, we have to do the subtraction. We know we can't subtract 4 minus 6 because 4 is too small. So we have to borrow. So it's going to end up being a 9 because the 1 goes over to the 0 to make it 10, and then the 10 will become a 9 so that the 4 can become a 14. 14 minus 6 is 8, and then we bring down bring down 4 to get 84, and we can see after listing our multiples of 12 that 12 times 7 is 84, and that's why we put our 7 up top next to the 8. We know that 7 times 12 is 84. We place it underneath the 84 and subtract to get 0. So the answer is 87, or C, on this paper. Students, I need you to see that all of these steps that I wrote down, that is how you show your work. If you don't have your steps listed for your division, it is not showing your work. Now, let's say you're more comfortable with using one of the other strategies. You still need to show that work. Do not just circle A, B, C, or D. I will give your homework packets back to you if I don't see the work. It's very important that I see how you worked out your problems. All right, question 2. Now, for question 2, I'm giving you all the numbers that you need to subtract, but I did not give you the actual quotient. In class, we have learned that the quotient is the answer to multiplication. So you guys can see that I set this problem up for you. It is 408 divided by 12. Now, I already went ahead and put 36. You can look on the side and see what times 12 equals 36. Whatever that number is, please put it above the 0 because we're going into 40 first. Then we did the subtraction and we got a 4. And then we brought down the 8 because remember the song goes, bring it on down and then bring it on back. So now we have to see how many times 12 can fit into 48. Look at your multiples. 12 times what number equals 48? That number goes up top next to the number you put over 40. And that will be your answer. You guys should be able to figure out what the answer is. Please make sure on your papers you show the work and you look at those multiples on the side and figure out what the quotient should be. I did the same thing for you guys for your problem on the bottom. You have 1,485 divided by 11. So first, we're going to start with 14. We can fit 11 into 14 a certain amount of times. However many times we can fit 11 into 14 is what you put above the 4. I've already done half the work for you by putting an 11 underneath. So whatever you put above the 4 in 14 is what you multiply 11 by, and it will equal 11. So think, what number times 11 equals 11? Then we do our subtraction, and we should get 3, and then we bring down the 8. So now we need to figure out how many 11s will fit into 38. Well, I've come up with the answer. Once we multiply, it will give us 33. So up top over the 8, please put the number that you can multiply by 11 to get 33. Now I'm going to subtract. 8 minus 3 equals 5. And we know we can't fit 11 into 5. So 5 should be our remainder. Now we're going to move on to the long division sheet. Again, I set up about 4 of these problems just to give you guys a good start. But like I said in class today, students, you guys have to try on your own. Remember the steps. Think of the song. Look at your anchor charts. Look at some of the previous problems that I've done for you. So let's look at the first one. The first one is done for you. When we look at 4,232, we're going to first look at the 8. And we can see that we can't fit 8 inside of 4. But we can fit 8 inside of 42. You guys know your multiples of 8. 8 times 5 gives us a number close to 42 without going over. 8 times 5 is 40. So then we subtract and we get a 2. Then the steps tell us we bring it on down. That means we bring down the 3. So now we're looking at 23. How many 8s can fit into 23 without going over? The answer is 2. 8 times 2 is 16. Then when we subtract 16 from 23, we get 7. Remember the steps in long division. We have to bring down the next number, which is a 2. And that's how we get 72. 8 will fit into 72 9 times because 8 times 9 equals 72. When we subtract, we get 0, and our final answer is 529. Let's move on to the next one. 7,146 divided by 2. I can see that I can fit 2 inside of 7 3 times. 2 times 3 is 6. 7 minus 6 equals 1. And we bring down the 4 so that now we're looking at 14. Oops, I just noticed I made a mistake. So instead of this being 3,500, this should be 3,007 because 2 times 7 equals 14. And we get a 0 and bring down the 6. Okay, so I can see that I made a mistake here. Hopefully everybody can see, and we will go ahead and update this. Let's see if I can do that. So for number 2, the answer should be 373, not 3,573. So that was an error on my part. I'm glad we're going over this. So the second one should be 373, not 3,573. The rest of this math that's listed here is absolutely correct. So I don't know where I was getting that 5 from. 7. Oh, wait, that's where I got the. Okay. My answer is correct. It's 3,573. I just forgot to do the step in here with the work, guys. So just bear with me for 1 second. Okay, so I see that 1. That's where I got it from. So instead of me bringing down the 4, I should have brought down the 1 to make 11. And that's why it's 2 times 5 because it's 10. And then we get the 1 to come down for the 14, and then the rest goes correctly. So students, forgive me for the step. I missed a step here. There should have been 11, and then 11 minus 10 was 1, and then the 14, and so on and so forth. So the answer is 3,573. I didn't look at that one, so I missed one step in explaining it, but that's okay. Let's move on to number 3. All right, so we have 5,474, and we're going to divide that by 7. So 7 times 7 is 49, and I did not do all the steps for this one because I do want students to, I'm trying to release so much support, and part of learning this is you guys have to look at the steps and follow them yourselves. So when we subtract 49 from 54, we have to remember we have to regroup to make the 414, and 14 minus 9 is 5. Then we bring our 7 down for 57. And make sure you remember 7 times what number will give you a number close to 57. So keep in mind that listing your multiples of 7 helps when you try to solve this problem. The same as listing your multiples of 2, 9, 7, 5, 3, whatever your divisor is. It's helpful to list those multiples and take these large digit numbers, 4-digit numbers, take them digit by digit and see if you can fit your divisor into those numbers in your dividend. All right, so the last one in the first row is 4,236. So we start with the 4. And I did not finish this one for you guys, but I gave you a good start. 2 times 2 is 4. When we subtract, we get 0. We bring down the 2. 2 goes into 2 one time, and that's why we have a 1 up top. And 1 times 2 is 2. When we subtract, we get 0. We bring down the 3. 2 will fit into 3 one time. 2 times 1 is 2. When we subtract, we get 1. We bring the 6 down. And on your own, you will have to continue this one by figuring out 2 times what number gives you 16. Whatever that number is, you put it up top next to 211. That last number will be whatever 2 times blank is that equals 16. So do the multiplication, put that number on the bottom, subtract, and you should be finished with that one. Please do the rest of these equations on this sheet the same way. Now let's move on to your HMH assignment. This assignment comes directly from HMH. All right. All right, guys. So I did give you a lot of support with some of these. Now, the first one I did not. So you're going to have to read through your problem and figure out what the division is going to be. But you're dividing 322 divided by 14 to understand how many chairs Marsha will have in each row. All right, so for your math on the spot, the smoothie shop has 1,360 ounces of cranberry juice and 710 ounces of passion fruit juice. If the juices are used to make crazy cranberry smoothies, which juice will run out first? How much of the other juice will be left over? So if you look at your chart, it's telling us that 1,360 ounces of cranberry juice and 710 ounces of passion fruit juice. So cranberry juice will run out first. 30 ounces of passion fruit juice will be left over. Number 3, the new theater has 465 seats arranged into sections. If there are 17 sections in the theater, how many seats could be in each section? So you're going to divide 465 divided by 17. And your possible answers, 15 sections with 27 seats and 2 sections with 30 seats. So for your division problems on the bottom, these are a lot like the division problems that you had on previous pages. The first one has been done for you. 1,150 divided by 25. You can see that they started with 115 and 25 times 4 equals 100. When you do the subtraction, you get 15. You bring down the 0 for 150. 25 times 6 equals 150. So the answer is 46. Number 5, 805 divided by 35. So again, we can see that 35 times 2 equals 70. 80 minus 70 is 10. Bring down the 5. 3 times 35 is 105 with a remainder of 0. And so write the answer on the line for number 5. Number 6, 2,594 divided by 52. We can see that 4 times 52 equals 208. Do the subtraction. So the rest of the problem is not listed. The work that's required for the problem. Show your work. Start by listing what you see on the screen. So in order to finish this problem, subtract 259 minus 208. Do your subtraction, bring down your 4, and finish your math. For number 7, 927 divided by 13. For this one, we have 13 times 7 equals 91. 92 minus 91 equals, and you do the subtraction, bring down the 7, and finish out this problem. And for your last page of homework this week, you guys are on your own. Please remember to use the steps that we have used so far. There are 208 science fair projects that will be spread out equally over 16 tables. How many projects will be displayed on each table? You are dividing 208 by 16. A store has a collection of 156 dolls. The store has 13 shelves and wants to place the same number of dolls on each shelf. How many dolls should be placed on each shelf? 156 divided by 13. Number 10. A company has 2,364 tickets for a county fair. If the tickets are shared equally among 14 schools, how many tickets will each school receive? 2,364 divided by 14. For the spiral review, students should be able to give me these answers. Complete the multiplication fact and pattern. 6 times 5, 6 times 50, 6 times 500, 6 times 5,000. I know you guys can handle this all on your own because we've done problems like this time and time again. For number 12, draw an area model to represent the division equation and find the quotient. Please separate 360 and do your division. Okay, so what I wanted to leave every student and family off with are 3 videos, 2 of which we've definitely used in class. Math with Mr. J. He takes time and shows the steps. So does Math Antics. So Mr. J is showing you long division, exactly what we've done with homework this week and what we're working on this week. Math Antics shows partial quotients, which we looked at last week. And then the long division wrap. This is what you keep hearing me say, bring it on down and bring it on back. The students should know this word for word. If they know the words, they know the steps. Please make sure that students are looking at these videos for more support. And as always, I'm available for questions. Thank you so much. If you miss anything, play this video back again.